Hey everyone, my name's Nicole and I'm the owner of Anchorspace and I'm here with
Jessica. Heck, hi.
Hey, Jessica's one of our members here at Anchorspace Potsdam. We're obviously recording this from the conference room. And one of the questions we get a lot, and I appreciate Jessica recording this video with me because I feel like her perspective is helpful as someone who also has been working and living around here for a little while. People always ask where they can work from. And I feel like saying, well, the answer is obvious that you could work from Anchorspace. But the reality is that there are some other places to work from. And I thought this could be a fun video. And Jessica came with me and we went on a little, the world's like shortest road trip to do this video. It was fun. And what we did is we went to several places around town and we did a couple of tests. So these are all places that a remote worker would appreciate knowing about. They're all downtown Potsdam. So, we didn't go too far afield, but we tested a few things. We tested the internet speed at all of the locations. We tested the noise level at all of the locations. And we also kind of got a sort of vibe, like what kind of people are here, what kind of amenities are here, what's parking like, that kind of thing. So Jessica, where did we start our journey?
Yes. Well, thank you for having me, Nicole. And so the first place that we went to was Dranaby Coffee House. Yep. So if you are a local, you're probably familiar with it. If you're not from the area, it's a really cute local coffee shop. And you go in, and if you are from here, you're probably going to run into a lot of people from the university. If you're not from here, you'll definitely notice that people are remote working.
Oh, it looks like a lot of professors are here.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yes.
So the parking, like you're going to go kind of down and the parking's behind the building. Not, there's like kind of a line of parking sort of facing the river. So, and you'll come in and they'll see lots of people from the university and we each got fancy coffee because when in Rome. And then we booted up our devices to test the internet speed. So I'll put the internet speed on the screen now. And I'm also going to we recorded an audio and it's going to be playing right now while we're talking. So this is like the ambient noise level of Dranaby. Now, we went there. We didn't go there during the morning coffee rush and we didn't go there during the lunch rush. We kind of went in the middle of the morning. So I would say like this is a pretty typical ambiance. And if you are the kind of person who just listens to stuff like with your noise canceling headphones, you probably don't really care. But if you are on a Zoom call, it does pick up the ambient noise around you. So this is what it sounds like. And so what other things about Dranaby should people know about in terms of like what they have there or like the kind of vibe that they have going on?
Yeah, it's kind of a nice vibe to it. They recently did renovations, so it looks really nice.
It looks really nice.
I really like the way they renovated. It's nice open space. If you're someone who wants to like cubby, they do have a little section in the back that you can kind of cubby off from other people, but it's in general it's really open, but it's got a good vibe to it. I like it.
Yeah, it's socially distanced, and we didn't film the whole interior because we didn't get video permission from people who were there. So it's good to not just assume people want to be internet famous, but yeah, it's really cute. And I will say too, Jess and I had talked about going to multiple coffee shops, to multiple restaurants that all have Wi-Fi, and we realized that we would go on a very long road trip and yet only travel about a mile. So we're just going to put on the screen here all the places that we know of that have internet available for their customers. We didn't obviously test the speeds and everything, but we're not trying to necessarily favor one place or another, but like Dranaby is a place that a lot of people remote work. And I'm guessing that their internet connection is probably faster than the average restaurant's internet connection because that is such a core part of their business. So if you want that coffee shop vibe, check out Dranaby or check out any of these other fine eateries with internet that are on your screen right now. Go ahead, take a screenshot. All right. Okay. So then the next place we went to was a little bit more far afield. So Clarkson University at their library.
At their library.
Yeah.
So when you go into Clarkson University, if you're going in off Main Street, you're going to go past their arena. It's going to curve down and then you're going to go over to the right. So if you're familiar with it, it's by security. And they just renovated it a couple years ago. Right before COVID, they got a lot of renovations in for that part of the building, and it's really nice.
Yeah, so that first floor, so we went and I didn't realize that college was not in session yet. So it was pretty quiet. The coffee shop wasn't open, but there is a coffee shop there, right? And then there's that first floor area where we're filming. Hey guys, this is editing Nicole. So the original plan with Jessica was that we are going to go to the colleges during what was a school break and then go back when classes were in session to give people an idea of how much those environments could be different based on when students were around. Now, with the latest surge of COVID and at least one of the schools deciding to completely close to in-person classes in the spring semester, we didn't want to delay the release of this video. So if the editing feels choppy with the college's part, it's because we had built in time to show the difference between when students were there and were not there. And we've just decided to take that out. When things are back to normal, we will happily revisit this video and do the footage we'd planned on with students on the campus. So thanks for understanding. Back to your scheduled video. But there's also a second floor that has private rooms, and the person we talked to from library services said that they're usable, and if they're been reserved or whatever, it shows on the iPad that's immediately outside the room. So if you are there and you see that there's a space open, you could theoretically duck in. Although she was very curious what we were up to.
Yeah, she was. But she's just a curious person.
Right. Well, I will say something about going on a college campus. If you don't look like you're in college, they might ask you what you're doing there, especially if they don't recognize you. So yeah, that I'm one of those people that always wants to feel like I should be the place I'm at. So like I felt a little bit weird about that.
It's a little bit of that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's visitor parking right outside. It's a bit limited in terms of the amount of spaces that are there, but there is visitor parking where you can go, and it's a pretty short walk into the space there, and it looks like a college vibe. We did a speed test here, and the speed is a little faster and than Dranaby, which is to be expected. Most colleges have pretty fast internet. It's a college, so there's going to be students there sometimes, and that's the overall vibe. Like there's college students, and that can be fun or that can be not fun depending on what you're looking for. So check them out. Like I said, they've got a really, they get fancy kind of cool, like college furniture, talking about.
It's
like,
fun.
Yeah. Anything else about Clarkson that you think people should kind of know about? Or
I think it's great. I think they have a great space option, if you don't mind kind of being the outsider. But they weren't. Yeah, who is that? But Barb at the desk was very nice, and she was welcoming, although curious.
Yes. Yep. Welcoming, although curious. Excellent summary. So then, to be obviously very fair to all of our college neighbors, we went to SUNY Potsdam, and I will say that we had to phone a friend to figure out where the library was.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. And how would you explain where the library was at the end of all this? Yeah.
Yes. All right. So if you are coming into the campus from Pierpont Avenue, you are going to take your first main entrance and park in lot 1. And then once you have parked in lot 1, you're going to go under a bricked bridge walkway. And then you're going to come into like a central quad, right? And up to your front left, the building will be there.
Yep. It's called Lockheed.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Yep. And there's a sculpture there. So notice that. And we got there and it was closed. But we tried to get the internet anyway. We thought if we stood outside, we might be able to get on the internet, but it said the network wasn't working. So it's a college campus, so the internet speed's pretty good. And the general vibe is college students. Maybe a different set of college students than Clarkson, but still college students. And obviously they're, Anything else we should know about SUNY Potsdam?
If you want to get some steps in,
the parking,
that's a good place.
That's a really good point. The parking's a little far. Because like I said, they're all brick buildings and they all kind of look the same if you're not on the campus. So you're going to park and you're going to walk a little bit. So just kind of be prepared for that.
It's kind of nice to walk.
It is, as long as it's not too icy.
Yeah,
or
it's not.
Yeah. And so then our final stop on the tour before we headed back to Anchorspace was the Potsdam Library. And so they've recently had renovations sometime during COVID, and it looks real nice in there.
They did a great job.
Yeah. It looks great. And the layout is like the desk is in the center now. And then there's a couple of spots that you can go to. And actually Jess as the one who went upstairs and got the shots that we're putting on the screen here. So like, what's up there? What are we looking at here?
Yeah. So you're going to go up the staircase, and as soon as you come to the landing, you're going to have some built-in desk area. So they have borrowed computers if you want to share or, use a computer if you happen not to have, if you're traveling and you happen, your computer broke, you can go there or whatever. Then they go through a little bit of a book space, and then they have an office. So it's a little bit oddly shaped.
Yeah.
But it would fit, I would say, like 8 to 10 people.
Yeah. And the term, she did use the term meeting room and did say that like if it was open, obviously you could duck in and use it. But like if they had to conduct some library business, they were gonna, kind of boot you out, which is fine. And then there's a couple of areas downstairs where you could sit. So we sat at one of the tables and did the internet speed test. This is the fastest internet that we found outside of Anchorspace, which is not surprising because most libraries are pretty well connected. And we didn't do the sound profile because we were the only people there. But if you do go, I'll play the one, they were having a conversation. And so I'll play that audio here. So it's pretty quiet, but like you can see there's still like people talking, and because you're not the only person in the space. And you might want to be mindful if you were going like after school or during a time when some programming was going on. It obviously would have a lot more activity, a lot more kind of ambient noise going on at those times. But at noon on a school day, pretty quiet.
Oh.
Yeah,
I think it was. I might be hesitant to do like a video call there, for sure.
Yeah.
So if you've got anything, make sure that you aren't the one. Maybe if you're listening to something, have your headphones and, be mindful of that.
Yeah. And it's a really good point that they're kind of the only option that has technology other than Anchorspace. So if you do need something, like they do have, like, it sounds like, it looks like they had a TV on a cart that was downstairs. It wasn't in the meeting room that you went to, but like it seems like they have some light and obviously computers. So the library, it looks super nice. Head in there if you're a local who hasn't been in there in a while. And
it looks nice.
Yeah, it looks really good. And then finally we came back to Anchorspace, which is where we're filming this now. And I don't know. So Anchorspace, obviously it's a co-working space. As far as I know, it's the only co-working space in St. Lawrence County. So a lot of times people don't think to look for us, which is why we're making this video. Because we want people to know what their options are. And the options we just showed you are great, but we also have this co-working space. So the current status of Anchorspace is we're open to members and conference room renters. So we're recording this in the conference room right now. We'll throw some pictures on the screen. So in the conference room, you can probably fit 8 to 10 people, 8 comfortably, 10 squeezing. We do have a TV mounted to the wall, as well as a webcam and a microphone. So like if you wanted to have a meeting, like, a hybrid meeting where some people were in real life and some were virtual, it's a good place to have that. And we have other tech as well. We have computers, we have, we pretty much have everything. Keyboards, mice, screens, like you name it. So if somebody's here and they need something, I try to have it on hand. Mm-hmm. And we also have kind of 2 rooms where members can work from. And all of the workstations are stand-sit desks and some ergonomic adjustable chairs so people can adjust their workspace for their needs. Mm-hmm. And the internet speed, we'll put the internet speed on here, and we don't need to put a sound profile because you're listening to it now, but it's pretty quiet. There's currently 4 of us in the space now, me and Jessica and 2 other people. And we're spread out probably over about 1,200 square feet. So it's pretty quiet most of the time. Sometimes there's not this many people here. And the conference room is rentable. We have our calendar online, so people would be able to know if it was available and could rent it or just hop in and use it like we did today to record this video. Is there anything you think people need to know about Anchorspace in terms of other stuff?
It's just a great option. It's a great option to get out of the house. It's really comfortable space. Nicole's done really good job at making sure that people are comfortable when they come in. If you want coffee or tea, it's available. Mm-hmm. It's a very welcoming space.
Yeah, our coffee isn't as good as some of the local coffee shops, but one of my colleagues who owns a coffee shop had come in and made him a cup of coffee and asked him how it was, and he said it was a solid B+. So not the best coffee you'll ever have in your life, but like pretty good.
It's good.
If you feel like you need regular workspace, like that's a good option. I will say a couple of other things just real quick as we're closing the video. If you are here longer term, like you're relocating to the area or you're going to be here for an extended period of time, there is a private office market. Just, watch out for anything Craigslisty. You definitely want to, I mean, we're not immune to a Craigslist scam here. But there are private offices available for rent. What I found is, because I looked into this when I came for an extended stay, is that by the time you get the office and then get the internet set up, it's going to be like a month sometimes. So if you need space in the meantime, come over to Anchorspace. Obviously, it's a month-to-month thing, so you could just use it for a month if you wanted. But so check that out. Especially if you're in the kind of business where you're a therapist or you're a financial planner or something, and you like feel like you need like kind of private space to yourself, we completely understand that. And the other thing I will say is that the colleges, in particular Clarkson, has incubator space that I know of. The thing is that, again, it'll take you like kind of a month to lock it down, but typically the priority goes to people who work there or people who are related to people who work there. So unless you have some kind of connection, it can be sometimes hard to get a space. So, but it is worth looking into those options as well if you are here kind of longer term, and or if you're connected to the universities. Is there anything else that you kind of know about that might exist?
No,
those are like, that's pretty much
kind of what comes to mind. Yeah, for the area.
Yeah. So that is all the information that we have collectively of trying to work here in St. Lawrence County, New York. And these are your options if you're here in the Potsdam area. If you have some other options or things that you've done that work, please feel free to leave a comment on this video. We'd love to hear about them because, well, I think I know everything sometimes, clearly don't. So, thanks so much for watching. And Jess, thanks for coming on the weird road trip with me.
Thank you so much for having me, Nicole. I had a wonderful time. Lots of laughing.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
Absolutely. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.